Leonard, who is going to show us how to make whistles. Brian's making whistles now for just not quite a year from your first whistle, right?
No, it'd be about a year.
It's about a year from your first whistle?
A year and
he
2
now makes
strings.
whistles out of every single thing he makes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's more annoying than the thing
Beautiful.
really amazing.
Like I said,
Okay.
he's the whistle master.
Go for Brian.
All right. So, basically, a common way to start out whistles, and there's so many ways you can do it. The very basic way for a sweet potato ocarina, or a carrot ocarina, is you start out with a ball of clay. And then, because that's overall how much clay you're going to need for the entire thing. And the way I do it is I cut it in half, and then make 2 balls out of that. And these balls, I made more, because making balls is fun.
I bet. What's that?
So, off of the balls, this one's going to be hasty, is
You want some water, bro?
start go, half that.
Oh yeah, you got to tool set. He also made himself a tool set.
And so, from the balls, you make a pinch pot. And so, pinch pot is the very basic thing. I suggest that all people who are new to ceramics start by making one of these, because from here you can go pretty much anywhere. And so, for a whistle, or ocarina, depending on what all you do to it, I'm not sure what the actual difference is. I'm going to say that an ocarina has holes, besides the stuff that makes it make a sound.
Hey, don't question my drink, bro.
Never did.
Exactly. This is what
So, since it's going to be sweet potato shaped, or whatever shape I want to make it, it's not so much a roundular bowl like this one is, very hastily done as well. It's going to be more pointed. So, then once you're done doing that, you flatten it out so that it sits together, because you're going to make 2 halves roughly. And so, I just realized man, it's going to change pattern here. So I'm going to need a mouthpiece. So that's going to be a mouthpiece. But, so yeah, we need the ball. It's dead silent here. It's kind of scary.
I like trains.
Thank you.
Turtles.
Awesome.
So the thing about your whistles are there's so many different shapes and they're like things you add onto them.
Yes.
You just always start with that basic little shape, or how do you do it?
It's a variation. So, I don't remember how I did this one. But I made the body, and I'm like, I'm going through a tentacle phase right now. So I'm going to put tentacles on it. And what I like to think that my tentacles represent on my work is that they are guardians of the mouthpiece. So that not everyone can just go, oh, hey, let me see this, and then they'll do it. You have to, like, be careful
So
and
you have to know how to
try.
use it. Exactly.
And so, like, if they do, they'll, like, stab themselves or break the tentacles, and then I can yell at them.
You just want a reason to cause problems for people.
Oh, nice.
So, it's very cool. And so then, since I'll end up with a more bowl shape, part of what I'll do is just try and flatten things out so that they're not just weird. Can someone give me some slip, please?
I got the bunch.
Thanks, sir. So then what you're doing, since you have your 2 halves, and so then, huh?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
and by fork I mean rib.
Good enough.
So I enjoy serrated ribs, get you a nice fine serration, and so we're gonna do what I'm gonna call instead slit and slip, just so that it's more sequential. So right now we're slitting, and basically what this is doing is it's gouging the clay so that it has more of a gripping surface for when you slip, and you can slip one or both sides, and if the clay is moist enough you can do it with whatever.
What is slip, for those of us who don't know?
It is wet clay and with water. Like
Very
very,
watered down.
like slop.
So it's the glue.
Essentially what's in like her bucket right now.
Yeah.
And so right here is like the second thing that'll determine how each whistle is going to go, by how I decide to bind it. And since I had kind of planned this a bit, well, less than I should have, but it is planned, is
You're
that...
playing this by ear, aren't you?
Actually, no. I had this planned for about an hour.
Okay, good man.
So,
That's more than I expected.
somewhere in this building is a whistle I made, and so upon binding everything together, it turned into what looked like a dragon. Going off the theme of animal heads, I...
Show me, I have that, should I bring it out?
Sure. That's also a rattle in the horn, but not really. Actually, this isn't...
Didn't you make that little snake thing in the back? That little long pipe looking thing?
Which one?
It's in the back.
It's still in there.
It's a snake, and it looks like one of your whistles.
I did not.
Who did?
I don't know.
Probably Pat.
So, this one is going to take the shape of a wolf's head. And it is going to a friend of mine who was also a teacher here, because her last name is Wolf, and she has a small child now, who's going to be, at first, a superhero and then samurai, who gets transferred into the future. If anyone knows
Anyone who
that,
doesn't know who he's talking about, it's Amanda Wolf. Just putting that out there.
and her son Jack.
And her son Jack Jack.
So there's that whistle, and it does that. There's also a small rattly section in the horn.
Oh, good stuff. You made her shaker also.
Yep. And so yeah, this probably isn't gonna actually be a wolf, because I can't make heads. It comes from spontaneity. Wait, actually.
Looks like a dinosaur.
Well,
Dragon.
we probably only have a couple more minutes left. We're supposed to go upstairs. So.
Okay. On that note,
Don't worry, he's not playing around.
let's
He's
make the
being
mouthpiece.
focused.
That's the sad part.
Because mouthpieces are fun.
So the bigger the whistle, the deeper the whistle sound?
The what are the what? I mean
The
here.
bigger the...
Yes. Bigger
Whistle,
bigger
the
whistle
deeper the-
will typically equal deeper sound.
Really?
Because you have these,
Okay.
and then you'll have something like that. And then
Why don't you show him the horn?
So you can write music.
that's different.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now we need
And then-
a musician to write. Oh, that is cool.
Ladies
All right.
and gentlemen, Brian, the whistle.
No, it's instrument. Also not done.
Also not done.
So we have that, and so then you have your mouthpiece, and then you want a flat area because basically the air is going to want to make a straight channel, or it's going to need a straight channel to pass. Well, it does. It just does. I'm shaking. You can all see that. All right. So normally you'd want a coil, but in interest of time, and I'm cool and that good, I'm just going to.
You've been doing this entirely too long.
Only a little. So very quick and hasty. And then we have these nice rectangles. I'm not sure where they came from, but
You want to grab that? Someone sees
they are wonderful for making these. So then we're just gonna jam and whee. Excuse me as I beat my whistle to death.
Sounds great.
Brian, tell us what you did just now.
So I took the two rectangle pieces, stacked them together to make a bigger hole. And now pulling, ooh, that's gonna be really thin. Not sure I like that. And so then we have the hole here. So the air is gonna go down here, and then out here. Wow, that's really thin. Should not have done that.
Calm down. You're psyching yourself out. Just focus.
That's
It is focused.
Oh, that's where it went. It's what?
This man is very into what he's doing. He's dedicated.
So normally, Brian, would you let that stiffen up at all before you started?
Typically, yes. Wow, that's
Because the clay, when it's so soft, it's really hard to be very controlling of it because it just wants to mush around.
yeah. So for the interest of that isn't working, and it's also really not the consistency, luckily I have backups, which is a different material,
What is that anyway?
earthenware. It's what Daisy made his pumpkins out of.
Really?
Yes.
Cool beans.
I didn't know those were made out of wood.
I didn't even know we had that kind of clay.
So here, I'm going to skip the mouthpiece step and go straight into making the hole. And so you need your flat surface. And here, the hole is going to retain its shape much better, which will be very beneficial. And so then, cut in, and you're making roughly a square.
You're doing this really fast, like you know exactly how to do this.
Oh, wait.
Well, that's the point.
Well,
I hope he does.
Making those things look hard, but Brian makes it look easy.
So how'd you come up with the idea
Of what?
of making whistles?
It was sort of, I took it as nature challenging me, because when we were first tasked with making one, I couldn't do it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna learn to do it. And so relentlessly, I practiced and practiced and practiced into hours of the night. Because it was
Until
when night came early.
5:30.
No, night came early.
You couldn't do it for the first, like, several weeks. I forgot that.
He couldn't do it?
No,
I thought you were just naturally gifted at doing this, like seriously.
no, relentless practice.
Yeah.
Alright,
Good
so
stuff, bro. Dedication.
I like how you
it's still not working.
So,
So
what,
basically-
what exactly makes the whistle sound?
So basically you have a channel of air, and then it's going to hit a blade. And you know how like you can like blow on a blade, like a blade of grass, and if you hit it just right, it'll make that beautiful sound? Same principle with this.
Or
You're
paper.
hitting a very sharp blade, and all of the air that goes down from the wedge is going to reverberate all around the walls of the clay body. And
There it is.
Brian the Whistle Master, ladies and gentlemen. Brian the Whistle Master.
Brian, are you ready for it? And on that note, it is, Brian loves his puns too. It is probably time. Does anyone have like a couple questions, and then it's time to head up to digital? Questions, anybody?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a legit question.
Sure.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know.
What is it
May
gonna
I
become?
have it,
No.
sir?
Maybe. Probably not.
Can I make
If I
it
can
in?
formulate it into the
What is
wolf
the
idea,
largest whistle?
I'll stay it
you
in
made?
here with you. That one.
probably.
Where'd you get the idea
Oh wait,
for
no,
this?
lightsaber. It was a lightsaber.
You made a lightsaber?
What the?
Yeah.
When did you
Use the
make the
extruder.
lightsaber?
I
Use
thought
the
the
extruder,
umbrella
made
was
the
a bit
tube,
much.
and then cheated it for the mouthpiece, and like made a
The
lightsaber.
man is a genius.
Yeah.
And
By
so,
the way, all this is for sale.
no, it's not. Take note. So yeah, there you go.
Once again, Brian the Whistle Master.
I'm clapping in my heart.
So I will lead all you guys upstairs now for the final stop of the night is the